Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be building a Tesla Cybertruck in TinkerCAD, which is a 3D online tool, so just head to tinkercad.com and you'll be able to access it. So I've got my wheels, and as I've explained previously, I found these in the shape library area, which basically in vehicles and machines. Also, I previously built this part of the front of the Cybertruck, and I'm going to show you how to build this. So first of all, let me resize the wheel so that it fits. Yeah, that should work. By the way, I'm going to make a modified kind of Cybertruck. It's not going to be the one that you'll see in the picture. It's going to be kind of more rugged and kind of a Jeep type of feeling, because I get the feeling I don't really like the Cybertruck, as it isn't good enough, even though it looks really, really cool. Okay, so let's start by building the wheelbase. There, so I'm going to make it, and it's going to be, have a look at that, I'm going to resize it. So yes, 57 length, and I'm going to make the width around 37 or 38. So that should be the main body of the Cybertruck. We're going to first make the bottom chassis, and then we're going to make all the options above. So, for example, the front cabin and the back pickup area. Alright, so first of all, we have to cut out the actual part where the wheels are going to go. So this is going to be a bit, well, not actually that tricky at all. So I'm just going to get 4 holes and put them in the places where the wheels are going to go, because that's where the wheels are going to fit in. Alright, so there we go. We've put all of the 4 places where the wheels are going to go in place, and make sure that they're all around the same width, because otherwise one of them is going to be too short and it's all going to mess up. So now we're going to group all the objects together so that it actually cuts the part out. But first of all, we have to check if the wheel will actually fit. Yeah, that will work. Perfect. Alright, so let's select that entire object. Alright, there, select the object, group it together, and we got the wheelbase. Perfect. So now we're going to add some two cylinders to make the axles. Just make that a little bit taller. I always like putting steps on maximum, because otherwise it kind of feels like too rough on the edge. I'm going to make that 2 times 2, because we want it to be as thin as possible. Right, we're going to rotate the object 90 degrees. Right, so we're going to make the next axle now. Going to add that on. Okay, that's good. We're going to just make it the standard Cybertruck color now, kind of a silvery gray, because I don't really like how all of the colors are always this kind of cylinder orange, red. Well, red is always going to be the box. But anyway, so we're going to add the tires in now. The tires and the wheels. Copy and paste it, put it on the other side. But first of all, we have to make sure that we reflect it, otherwise the inside of the wheel is going to be on the outside, and that would mess everything up. Okay, there we go. We've got those 4 wheels put in place. So, great, yeah. Starting to take shape as being an actual car. Alright, so now we're actually going to make the front cabin of the car. So I'm not actually going to do the interior, because the interior tends to take a long time, and I'm trying to keep this video as short and concise as possible. So if you do want to find the interior, go to the G63 video, the Mercedes-Benz, because there I did do a detailed step-by-step explanation on how to make the seats in the car, the steering wheel, and the navigation system. So I'm not actually going to do it in this video, but you can do it if you would like. So you need to just get the exact shape of the actual body here. So as you can see, doors is slightly tilted. So I'm just going to do that. Just going to tilt it by maybe 2 or 3 degrees. No, one's too little. 3, perfect. And then I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to reflect it onto the other side. There we go. This is going to be the trickiest part of the actual car. The rest of it isn't that hard. And this will take up the majority of your time. Oh, it's being annoying. I don't like it when it does that. Sometimes when you swivel it, it refuses to swivel. So guys, now we're going to make the front bonnet part. So this is going to be a bit tricky, but most of this front part is kind of difficult. So yeah, it's not too bad though. Alright, so we're just going to resize this, and yeah, that will be where it is. Now we're just going to cut out parts so that it has a vertical front slanted bonnet and loads of other stuff too. Use this hole so that you can actually cut the front part off, and you can get a slanted bonnet in front of the in front of the car. So I'm just reflecting this hole so I can actually put it in the front part, because as you can see on the actual Cybertruck, there's like some kind of slanted edges on the side parts of the front. So it's starting to look like the front of the truck, but don't worry, it's going to look really good once we're done. So now we're going to make the mud guards. So you just pop these on a normal block, and then you connect them. So now we're just going to duplicate it, put it underneath. It's the same thing if you watch some of the other videos where we build cars. So we've made 4 of them. Well, we're going to duplicate it, and now actually what we need to do is we need to cut that part off the top of the shape so that we can punch a hole through the entire thing. So that that's where the wheels are going to slot into the car. Sorry, I'm not explaining it very well. Just you'll see. Basically, we need to put that on top, as you can see I just did, and I'm going to cut off the rest of those parts that are hanging. I should have done this before, but I actually forgot, so yeah, I'm not that. That was kind of a dumb thing to do. Just cut off those parts, and then I'm going to make the part part a hole and punch through the front of the car, so that that's where I can put the going to put that through the front of the car. There we go. Now we're going to combine those shapes so that we can actually that's where the wheels are actually going to go. So there you go, like on the actual part that I made before. Now I'm going to tilt this part so I can make the windscreen of the car, because the windscreen is very long and slanted, as you can see, and it kind of folds in on itself as it gets to the top. Look at the one that I made before. And so we're going to actually have to use some blocks to cut off the edges. So next I'm going to get some blocks like that, and I'm going to make the frame of the windscreen. There you go, the frame. And I'm going to then use that grid alignment as a way of cutting off the other part. Alright, so we just added that part now, the vertical part, and yeah, that's good. We're extending the windscreen, and we're now just going to chop off that bit on the side, which goes outside of the reach of those two, out of the two border parts of the windscreen. There we go. So we got rid of the side parts, and now we've got the roof, and we're just cutting off the slight bits on the side. So we've pretty much built the front part now. I'm just going to carve out a bit that we're in the middle that we're going to use for where the actual passenger seats and driver's seat is going to be. Mind, I'm not actually going to build it in this video just for conciseness, but if you do want an overview on how to build the interior of a car, just go to the G63 video, the Mercedes-Benz, because there I did do a complete overview of how you built the seats and the interior, including the steering wheel of the car. It's not incredibly detailed as some other ones that you might see if you go on TinkerCAD, but I mean, it's pretty good. The seats are pretty nice, and yeah, you can expand on the dashboard if you want. And there you go, we've got the front part in place. So now all we have to do is build the back. Well, first we have to put this in the correct way, just to make sure that it's fitted in the best way. And then we're just going to make the back, which is quite easy as it's a pickup truck, and we just need to make the bed have the back. So now we are just going to we've cut out the middle part of the actual interior of the truck, and now I'm just going to just cut out some of the small parts. And first of all, I'm just going to cut out a small, tiny little section from the front. You might notice if we go to the picture of the Cybertruck that there's actually a small, a straight line in the front, which is just an LED bar, which acts as a headlight. So we're just going to, that goes along the entire front. So as you can see, I'm just going to cut out a tiny bit, and that part is going to represent the headlight. And if you want, you can fill it in with white, but I'm just going to keep everything one color because it's easier when you're 3D printing. As you may have noticed, there's actually a kind of a kind of ridge there, which doesn't look very nice. So I'm just going to cut that part out. That didn't really do it, so I'm going to try that again. There, we're just going to put it in place now, and soon I'll be done and ready to go. So I've changed my mind. So actually what we're going to do is, instead of making the wheels fit directly into the Cybertruck, we're going to move the entire suspension up, which would be much better because it kind of gives the kind of Jeep feeling of a raised, of a big ground clearance. So we're just going to do that now and raise the entire thing up so that it looks better. There you go, we've raised the entire suspension of the vehicle and it looks much better now. Really, really looks like a really cool Cybertruck. So we're going to continue building and moving all the axles just to compensate for all of that. Now I'm just going to cut off the little front part. As you can see, the front bumper that I built before is kind of ugly. I'm just going to carve out the side part of it because it's sticking out a lot. So here, this is where this part comes in. Remember how before we built that, we built the mud guard, so we're just going to put that on from the front and the back. And we're going to build the bed, which should only take a few minutes. So I've built a big pot for the back there, and there you go, as you can see. And I'm just going to carve out a part of that to make the bed of the truck. So just make the block really tall, and use a hole to get the middle part out. It's looking really good, the truck. It looks like a Cybertruck. We're just going to have to pull the back up and do the bed, and then it'll be pretty much done. As I previously mentioned, I won't actually be doing the interior, so you can just go to the G63 AMG video or the Ford video on how we built the Raptor F-150. But yeah, I did it in both of them, but the G63 video is slightly better as I did actually build the dashboard in that one. So this is actually going to be the part we're going to use for the bed, so just make it and we're going to carve the middle part out, and that shouldn't take too long, and yeah, probably only 2 or 3 minutes. We got to slightly curve it to actually, so it's like the Cybertruck that you saw in the picture before, because it's just one big flat line. So I'm actually going to make the back a little bit, it's not going to be completely flat, I'm going to make it go up a little bit at the end, because I find that looks nicer in a way. And there you go, the truck's pretty much done. Just gotta adjust a few things at the back, make the back the back door, which opens up to the bed of the truck. And yeah, so I'm actually going to put a hole here so I can kind of carve out the side, as you saw for the part in the beginning where we have to cut the side out to make it the door seem kind of curved. We're going to do the same for the back of the truck. So as you can see, I just curved the back there using some holes so that it's curved downwards like on the actual thing. But this time it's a little bit rugged at the back because I feel it looks really cool that way. So that's pretty much done. Now we just need to do the back tailgate, which will take all of 10 seconds. Just going to extend that so it reaches the very back of the truck. So just get a box and make it very thin, pull it up, move it back. Okay. Just going to slightly extend it so it meets it. There, we're going to make this curve to the very, very edge and make it the normal Cybertruck color. And finally, the backlight, as you may notice on the picture, oh no, sorry, I didn't put it on this one, but if you look at the back of a Cybertruck, it's like on the front, there's a big, long, straight red line. So I'm just not going to put in the red, like I didn't put the white in as the front, but I'm just going to do it. Yeah, and there you go. The truck is completely done. Great, that was slightly off center, we're just going to move it there. Perfect, the truck is done. Let me just show you. That looks awesome. It looks like a Cybertruck, so if you want you can 3D print this, you just press the export button. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and please do subscribe. I mean, it would mean so much to us, and of course, it's free. So, well, we'll catch you in the next one.